Welcome back to TYT Sports. Tribe Called Quest had Q-Tip. I have Bro Tip. Not nearly as good, but also, well, at least not as good on the rhymes and the mic. But a great commentator that we have.
I drop bars.
You do.
I spit hot fire. Never have rapped a day in my life.
Don't make me take back the intro. Don't make me take back the intro.
Don't you do it.
We're here. We bring on Hassan for some fun clips on this Friday.
Jacory's
he's
shaking
also.
his head.
I can tell Jacory's upset, but. LeBron James and the Super Team has started to really take over the internet because LeBron had this to say specifically on why he wants to play with certain players. Quote, I really hope that before our career is over, we can all play together at least maybe one or two seasons. Me, Melo, Dwyane Wade, Chris Paul. We can get a year in, James told Bleacher Report in February for a feature story on James and Anthony's relationship that was published Wednesday. He finished to say, I would actually take a pay cut to do that. Not just LeBron James, though, because that super team would come together, which I've titled #TeamBananaBoat, because they were all on the banana boat.
Oh, my God, I was going to drop that reference.
Too late, I already tweeted it.
Damn it, dude.
Beat him to it. But you know who wanted to also join that super team? One of your favorite players of all time, one of my favorite players to watch of all time. J.R. Smith, quote, that would be dope. That'd be sick. I'd like to see it. I just hope they save me a spot and I'm on the team. Can you read the bottom of that for me right there under J.R. Smith?
Oh, wow. You dropped the bar there. Greatest contested shooter of all time. That is a factual statement, sir.
He is one of the best contested shooters of all time. It's true. The numbers prove it. Regardless. And then, of course, J.R. Smith is also a part of the Bleacher Report graphic. Paul, James, Anthony, Wade.
I can't wait for I'm So Fly, I'm So Nice. Like, let's hear the remix to that with this super team.
So owner of one of the best celebrations in the NBA, but regardless if JR's on that super team or not, the question that's come to be is, A, can this happen? And B, would they beat the Warriors if it happened today? And not today, really next season. So ESPN ran their stats, the real plus minus of what the teams would look like. And starting with the Cavaliers, the offense has an overall 9.7 plus minus, but they are weak on the defensive end with an overall positive 1.5. And that includes the team with Thompson, J.R. Smith, Shump, Dellavedova, Fry, and Mozgov. And, of course, Team Banana Boat on the top. The Warriors, on the other hand, offensively fall by the wayside to the Cavs with a 7.2 real plus minus, but defensively they truck them. They truck them.
Because they're a team, whereas the other one is a fantasy created. It's like a Frankenstein's monster situation, I think. No, okay, look.
I'm really happy you mentioned Frankenstein's monster because people think the monster was named Frankenstein.
Are you one of those? Are you one of those weird dudes that like make sure that that's supposed to be correct?
No, you don't want to take what's it called, the author's words out of context. It's just not fair.
Look,
Team Banana Boat Frankenstein is fine.
I think there are a lot of issues, or at least when I was looking at this team, I was like, how with the makeup of the team, like how is Melo and LeBron going to be able to play together? Even though they're, I get it, they're great friends. These guys are all great friends.
And they all played on
when
Team
you look
USA
at their
together.
positions, when you look at their positions on the court when they're playing together and without a fifth person that's like a center, how are they going to play together with J.R. Smith as their fifth man?
Well, I love how you look at it as like, how is JR going to fit into this team?
I know.
I need to know. It's the most important thing to me.
That's what I need to understand.
So here's the thing. I think people are insane to think, because I've seen a lot of the internet reaction being like, even if this team got together, they'd get swept by the Warriors. They might not even make it out of the Eastern Conference if they all played on the Cavs. Okay, take a step back here.
Okay,
first of all, yes, I understand the fact that how many of these guys could shoot the ball. It's actually not a great team of shooters. Melo, great from the mid-range, but has fallen by the wayside with his three-pointer. LeBron, great at attacking the rim, but his three-pointers also abandoned. His jump shots almost abandoned him. Dwyane Wade is getting older, as we know, but he's still having a good season overall, at least compared to last season.
Every single person on that dream team is also kind of old when you think about it.
They definitely are, but you have to take into account the fact that LeBron James and Chris Paul are still two of the top 10 players in the league, and Carmelo Anthony and Dwyane Wade are still elite talents that play in this league.
Fair.
So I don't mind the criticism that people give when they say, I think the Warriors can beat that Cavs team if it was as is with the real plus minus. I don't think they're wrong. I think they're also not crediting the Spurs for being that good of enough of a team to also beat that Cavs team if it came together. But the truth of the matter is, undoubtedly they'd win the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, that's
like
ridiculous.
The Cavs are going to win. Some people were tweeting at me earlier like LeBron's better off with Kyrie and Kevin Love right now than he is with Wade, CP3, and Melo. Guys, look at yourself. Look in the mirror and actually look at that team. The chemistry's there. They all love playing basketball together, and that's such a major part of how a team could succeed in the NBA. They have chemistry. They all don't shoot, except for Melo. So the shooters thing isn't a problem.
And JR, excuse me. Excuse me.
And J.R.
How
Smith.
dare you not mention J.R. Smith, the honorable mention of the 5th player pick?
And here's the truth of the matter. I actually would want this to happen. Not just because I think it could happen in New York. And yes, I understand what it would take. All of these guys would be taking 80% pay cuts, I think, to make it happen. At least
80% pay cuts and then like 300% endorsement deals. And that's what I was telling you earlier, is that the only way this would feasibly happen is not salary caps, is if Nike somehow took all of these athletes under its marketing umbrella and somehow cut a deal with the teams or cut a deal with the NBA and possibly got them together. Because
and you don't think there would be
they
a
would
billion
create
commercials with these four guys together?
That's what I'm saying. Like, they would create essentially another boy band for the NBA.
I think our studio's about to cave in.
I know.
Okay.
I'm hearing alarming sounds.
It's okay. Maybe there might be an earthquake, but that's what happens when the super team might get together. So do I think this will realistically happen next year? No, but I do love talking about this.
I have a question for you. I have 2 questions for you.
Now you'd have to.
Who would be your pick for the 5th man?
For the 5th man, Kevin Durant. If I could just pick anybody.
Okay, no, like
who
playing.
Who would I actually pick for that team? I think
to balance it out a little bit.
I think they would need like a JJ Redick-esque player who can just shoot the 3-ball. I mean, the league is developed.
What about defensively though? They need someone.
I'm not worried
who's
about
like,
defensively that much, and here's the reason. Although the Warriors as a team are amazing defensively, and I think again that they would beat this team in a 7-game series, and I also think the Spurs would beat them in a 7-game series. But it would be so close, 6 or 7 games to me, undoubtedly. I think defensively, Chris Paul is one of the best defensive point guards in the league. LeBron James is still an elite defender in the league. They got guys like Tristan Thompson on the team, and DeAndre Jordan would not need ball. Wouldn't need the ball. DeAndre Jordan would be a good pick for the center there as a rim protector. So I understand the real plus minus. I just don't think they'd be that bad defensively just because they have elite players. Even look on that team, I even think Melo would play some semblance of defense. But to me, I just don't get the internet reaction of this team.
I think Melo puts on 30 pounds as soon as he gets on that team, rides the team's glory to rings.
You being the scope of the United States, okay? You are what the U.S. thinks right now, okay? Do you think most fans would be pissed off that these 4 guys could get together and play on the same team, or do you think people would embrace it?
100% there's going to be, it's sports, dude. It's everyone, there's going to be 50% incredibly angry people and then 50% bandwagoners.
Oh, super
eventually,
bold.
depending on how the team is performing, there's always going to be haters on it. People say, oh, this team is just rigged. It's bullshit NBA. Like they put this up, to get higher ratings. And then mostly from the other teams that had these players, the fans would hate this super team. Okay. Which, by the way,
come to New York.
I also wanted to ask, you say New York. I feel like they go to LA.
Yeah, the only reason I say New York is because it's just better.
LeBron is my neighbor. I wish they would all just buy houses next to one another.
Just so you can all ball with
and
all the players.
we could ball and ride banana boats.
LeBron is your neighbor, and so is like 1,600 other people
where
you live. Like your neighbors are everybody.
I like to say that.
You can throw a tennis ball.
We could ride banana boats in D Wade's backyard pool, mansion pool.
Final point on this: one of the things that people tend to forget with super teams, and this isn't the first time it's happened. Because if this does happen, we're talking, I think, 5 years from now. I think at the end of these guys' career, they all play together. They get 20 minutes off the bench each. Something like that I think it would be great in their career. And this reminds me of when, at least in my lifetime, Gary Payton and Karl Malone wanted a ring. They wanted a ring really bad. So they signed with the Los Angeles Lakers. And it was Kobe, Shaq, Malone, Payton, and you have 4 Hall of Famers all on the same court at the same time at some points. So that Lakers team got together. They made it to the NBA Finals, and they lost to the Detroit Pistons because of Chauncey Billups, Mr. Big Shot. Not just Rip Hamilton, Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace. Oh, good Pistons team. Physical Pistons team. But look, if we had this conversation before the Lakers got together, my feeling is the internet outrage, if there was a Twitter at the time, would have the same feeling. This team is overrated. They're all old. They can't do it. And what happened? They made the finals.
But they didn't succeed. They didn't succeed. They lost the Pistons.
I know.
So the internet, you're saying that the hypothetical internet outrage would have been true in the end. I mean, I get it. The Eastern Conference is ridiculous to say.
There's the haters out there who think like, oh, team's going to go 41-41. They'll never be able to work together. Of course they'll be able to work together. You have four of the, I'm going to discredit Melo, 3 of the highest IQ players in the league on the same floor at the same time. How could it go?
I'm not a big Melo fan either, so I'm just.
But, hey, calm yourself. Tyronn Lue gets Coach of the Year. Who knows? You can go buy your J.R. Smith Super Team jersey at some point. I know Hassan's going to get one. But make sure to follow at Hassan the Hun on the Twitter and on the Instagram. Go over to, he has a segment called Pop Crunch. And if you don't watch the sports entertainment fans out there, sometimes he covers sports entertainment. And it's on the Pop Crunch. Go check it out on Pop Trigger. As for myself, at JaceRuben91 and at TYT Sports on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We're on Watchable. We're everywhere. We'll see you then.